Are you rethinking your purpose in life? Being centered in a strong spiritual connection is more important now than ever. Hi, I'm Bryn, Blankinship, hypnotherapist, international instructor, and author. Each episode, I'll share my experiences with guiding spiritual regression clients into the afterlife and the soul lessons gained, prompting you to explore your own soul's journey and empowering you by shifting your perception of yourself and your place in this world. I want you to know that you're here by design, not by accident. You are not alone. You are loved. You are here on purpose, for a purpose. When you stand in your truth and fulfill your purpose, you support others in fulfilling theirs. If this intrigues you, stay tuned in as we explore. Hey everybody, Bryn Blankinship here, and today we're going to talk about your soul calling as it relates to certification to become a hypnotherapist. When you have that calling to pursue the practitioner's path. And so this is about bridging your spiritual gifts with your professional purpose. And we're specifically going to talk about hypnoregression certification because I have some courses coming up and I've had a lot of inquiries about this. So I want to try to answer some of your questions and maybe elaborate in a way that I haven't in the past to tell you more about this course and more about this program. So, a lot of times people start with that question, can I do this? Can I do this? And I want you to ask yourself, if you could flow through your life knowing that you're connected to your higher purpose, your highest path of your soul's guidance, what would that look like and feel like? And sit with those feelings before you approach anything and see how that feels. And so as you go through my course, not only are you learning techniques, but you're immersing yourself in the process so that you can experience and move through your own issues, your own blocks and limitations to expand into a higher life, a higher connection in your life that helps you expand into an even greater experience on this planet. So, can I do this is a question that often comes up. I asked myself the same thing. Can I do this? And I went and learned and figured out how to do it. And that's what I want to teach you how to do. So, life is like an unfolding, and we go through this process, and often we're drawn to certain things. We become a seeker, and then we decide that we want to become a student and then a practitioner. So that's a natural progression that people go through in exploring this. I read about past lives. Shirley MacLaine had some books that came out at the time, and I thought that was fascinating. And then I took the acting path. I left my day job, took the acting path, went to Hollywood, and came back a hypnotherapist. Came back starting my journey as a hypnotherapist, and then went and got training where I could to learn how to do this work. So I understand the feelings that you might be experiencing thinking about doing this work. And then you have that clear moment that you know that it's time to get started. Because if your future self is here and your future self is a practitioner doing this work, you have to get started now to put things in order to make that happen, just like anything else that you might be planning to do in life. So each of us has that calling, each of us has that voice that's guiding us. And sometimes it is not now. And other times it's saying, if not now, then when? We've been guiding you in this direction. It keeps coming up. It's time to get started. So each level of my course is like an energetic threshold that's helping you to cross deeper within, to explore deeper within yourself. And as you're doing this work, that's helping you, and it's helping you to get in touch with the guidance that is going to help you when you're working with clients. When it's just you and the client and the technique, and something comes up, and then you think back to my course and what I taught you, and what to do in that moment, and you do it, and everything lines up. So that's what we're talking about here, and what that guidance would look like and feel like. And, on a recent show, um, we talked about getting a clear message from my colleague Maureen. Maureen, I did a session with her, and it was written up as a chapter in Rich Martini's book, Flipside. And there was a clear message from her guide that said hypnotherapists help people light up. They help people connect to the light within. And that's what we do. What does it mean by lifting all these layers, lifting all these limiting beliefs? We're helping their spirit shine brighter. We're helping lift all that stuff off of their spirit. And her guide also said, whatever you do, do it with intention, do it with passion. And, when you're thinking about, should I do this? What are some of your passions? What are things that you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy reading about past lives and spiritual things? Do you enjoy helping other people? Then you can do it with intention, because you'll have some structure and some tools and some things that you can use to help guide you as you're working with other people along the way. So the hypnotic path to purpose, moving from seeker to student, is about purposeful direction. How can I take my spiritual beliefs and move this into a professional direction? And the course is ideal for those that are seeking certification, certainly those who want spiritual growth, that's going to be part of it, and helping others. But sometimes people just want some personal development. They want to know how it works. If you're someone that wants to know how it works, just know that you're going to be required to put yourself in the client chair. You can't sit there and study the other students without you taking a turn in the client chair. Okay. But you will have a better understanding of how things work, how we can connect. You can align with the healer within you. If you have that from past lives, this is going to help you both spiritually and professionally. It's going to help if you have the healer in your lineage as a past life lineage, or as ancestral lineage in your family. And, maybe you were the thwarted healer that could never really get started. Maybe you got started and you weren't able to continue, because sometimes, we were persecuted in the past for being healers. And this might be that opportunity to come forward and do it, and not have that negative that you may have had in past lives, because they sought out the healers to work on the kings and the queens. But if the king or the queen got sick, or they didn't heal, then they went and got the healer and did bad things to the healer, right? So if you carry some of that stigma about getting started, the class is an opportunity for you to clear that stuff out too. You don't need to carry that around anymore. That was back then, and this is now. So, those who have a strong urge to help other people, you're wanting to know what to do because people seek you out for advice. And you're like, it would be great if I'm a good listener. It would be great if I had some tools to help someone. This is a good course for that. And these are things that students tell me that drew them to the course. And if you're a person who's open to learning and ready for your own growth as you move into becoming a practitioner, then this course is for you. This is an energetic bubble that you immerse yourself in. So it's a 2-day course, and then it's 2 5-day courses. And in that time, you're in an energetic bubble. And each step of the way, I'm guiding you through each of those phases to help you, so that by the end of the 2-day, by the end of the 5-day, and the next 5-day, whatever you were perceiving as limitations on day 1, you are well beyond that, and you are equipped not only to stand in your truth and your confidence, but you're equipped with tools to work with to help others do the same and work through their own issues. So this is, I'm very passionate about this work. I've been doing this for 20 years. I love what I do. I love it. Someone asked me if I have plans to retire, and I said, no, I am not looking at life that way. I'm going to do this work for as long as I can. There's not an age limit to doing this. As long as I can be present and work with clients and listen and be there for my client, I plan to be, or my students, I plan to be doing this work. And, the other view of life is that you work until a certain age and then you retire and you figure out what you want to do in retirement. Many times you're doing things that you put off until you retire. My belief is every day is like your birthday. Live it, enjoy it, enjoy your life now and plan for the future. But the more you can enjoy it now, the better your future is because you've put more joy into your life. And every client, every student that I've had has taught me something. And I really enjoy doing that work and that connection. So I want to continue that moving forward. But I've been branching out in new areas and, with the podcast and I've been in other people's books, but I came out with my book and just some of the other things that I wanted to add to the work that I do. So, if you have these spiritual gifts that you want to amplify, you can do that in this course. You can help understand better what your gifts are and learn how to use them to their fullest. Maybe you're using them a little bit. Maybe you're just starting to become aware of what those gifts are, but we can help you open up and amplify those gifts or add to the work that you're already doing. So, some people are drawn to this course because they hear the call. It's very clear. They go and sign up. Others are seeking some clarity, trying to figure out what is it that I'm going to do? Should I do this? They're waiting for the signs. Sometimes the sign is very simple. If the shoe fits. I literally had a student who was like, I don't know, should I take the course? Should I not take the course? And he decided to go out for a bike ride and he asked his guide for a sign and he went for a bike ride. And while he was riding, he saw a pair of tennis shoes thrown over a power line and he heard if the shoe fits. So he came back, got on the computer and signed up. So, some people need those messages just to get that clarity. And sometimes they've had a powerful past life session that, reveal that they were the healer in the past life and it's part of their soul's calling to do this work. And the guide tells them, why do you think this person keeps showing up in front of you? Her book, her podcast, her name keeps showing up. So sometimes it's like right there, but, we're human. We have the mind that's filtering things, and we just want that confirmation before we take the next step because it is a big step. It's an exciting step, but we want to be clear before we do that. So can I do this? Just like anything, this takes focus and practice. I'm going to give you the techniques. We're going to put you in the client chair, let you work through some things that might be holding you back, and then help you with whatever you need to do this kind of work versus someone else. What they need might be different than yours. So you're going to have a chance to be the practitioner and explore some of your own issues as well as being the practitioner for someone else. And so you learn by listening to others, observing others. You learn by being in the client chair. Some of the best learning comes from being in the client chair. And all of these things go into helping you to be a better hypnotherapist. And so Sometimes the direct path is the winding road, right? My direct path was the winding road. I knew about it. I went to a hypnotherapist, had an amazing couple of sessions, ended up in LA, wasn't planning to go to LA. And they said in my session, you will go out for one thing and come back with another. I thought I was going to New York permanently. And I ended up going out to LA and a series of events and saw myself standing in the scene that had been shown to me in my session. And I think it was a year before that that I had had that session. So saw myself standing in the scene, and I knew right then, this is the work that I want to do. But I just made it to LA, so I was going to take a little longer. And I wanted to find out some people to study with and figure out what to do. And then events took care of that. It became very clear because there was an actor strike and then there was a writer's strike. And it just became very clear to me now was the time. And I sought out training and I came home knowing that I would just go to wherever the training was. And I did that. And that's how I met Roger Wolger, Michael Newton, Henry Bolduc. That's how I met some of the really great people, Brian Weiss. And that's how I became a trainer in doing this work. So, this is transpersonal hypnotherapy. This is client-centered work. So to do this kind of work, it's really important that you are a good listener, that you have empathy and compassion for others, because, that's going to help you open up to your intuition. It's important to be open-minded and an independent thinker, because you're going to need to sit and think on your feet. I'm going to give you tools. I'm going to give you things to get started with, but I don't want you to be a clone of me. I want you to be the best version of you. There are some teachers out there that are like trying to clone themselves. And there is a format that I want you to use, but I want you to bring your personality and yourself to this work with empathy and compassion for your client who's struggling with something that they want help with. And they're trusting you to be the one to help them with that. That's my goal, to help you develop those skills within yourself and bring that out to help others. So along with this is a lot of unexpected growth that happens for the practitioners, and it enhances other spiritual work. I've had mediums take my course, and it's helped them with a deeper understanding of not only their mediumship, it's brought that mediumship deeper, their intuition stronger, and then they bring that work to the hypnotherapy work. But just to be clear, we are not doing psychic readings. We are putting your client, we are teaching your client to go into a deeper state. We're helping guide them there, but they're letting go and letting themselves go there, right? And as we do, this is allowing the soul to emerge. We are not pushing. We are helping them be in a space where their deeper self can emerge and share and help guide and really help the client to release the burdens, release the struggle, and get more clarity and more flow back in their lives. And there's a synchronicity that takes place. And, when I was preparing for the show today and I was thinking about some things that I wanted to talk about, it's interesting that I got an email from one of my students from a couple of years ago, about 5 years ago, who contacted me. And he said, Bryn, I'm taking some advanced training, but your training has stayed with me. And it's laid a real foundation for everything that's followed. And he said, the presence, the pacing, and working with whatever shows up, this is carried over more directly than I ever imagined or more than I ever expected. And so, that prompted him to write me. And also, he was in Germany and he ran into another one of my students in Germany. And he was just writing to say, it's a small world and how we're all connected. And I just find that fascinating, and the synchronicity of me thinking about the show, what we're going to talk about, and that's a prime example of some of the basics that I teach are meant to stay with you. They are meant to be the foundation for everything that you will do, and for those times when you're not in a session. Sometimes you're not in a session, and standing in your clarity, having that presence is going to help you think on your feet, not overreact. And it's just going to help you with the situation so much better. So what we're talking about here is a career path in the healing arts, and, taking that training so that you can train, certify, and thrive as a certified hypnotherapist, a certified past life regressionist. And this is live, it's interactive, it's online. I have an international student base. We use Zoom. We're going to use Zoom in a way that you've probably never used Zoom before, because we're going to use lecture, demonstration, and then you're going to go off into practice rooms with other students to do practice sessions. And we can come in and check on you. So it's the same as when I was doing this in person, and we would come, try to be quiet and open the door and come into the room to observe the students. It's the same format that I've always taught. It's actually a little better because when we're doing demos, the students aren't crowding the practice client up in front of the class, and they can hear a little better. So it's also better because you don't have the travel expense and the stress of travel to get to class, right? You can do this from your home as long as you have a space that's free of distractions and nice quiet space that you can focus. And then we're going to teach you how to use Zoom so that you can expand your practice area beyond your local area, and work independently in person or online. So you can offer both to your clients, and helping to guide your clients to their purpose is helping to align you with yours. So that's what the course is about. Just to give you a little background on me, I started the Hypnoregression Institute. I have over 20 years of experience. I'm internationally recognized as an instructor. I was the IACT, International Association of Counselors and Therapists 2024 Educator of the Year. I was the Michael Newton, the Peggy Newton Award I received the Peggy Newton Award from the Michael Newton Institute. I was Vice President, Director of Membership, and lead instructor with the Newton Institute. I helped Michael start the Newton Institute. So I have like a broader viewpoint coming into this work than a pigeonholed idea of hypnosis. I'm looking at the whole being, not just the human part, not just the mental part, but also the expanded part into the afterlife and into their galactic life. And as part of certification, I can take you on that full journey. So with level 1, it's 2 parts. It's a 2-day intro where you learn introduction to hypnotic induction. And then level 1 continues with a 5-day hypno skill sets. And this is where you're going to learn the transpersonal hypnotherapy. And it's interactive hypnotherapy for shifting patterns and clear those limiting beliefs that people have and guiding the client. Then we move into level 2, which is past life hypnoregression. It's childhood regression, womb regression, and past life regression and ancestral regression. And that makes up certification. You take that course, you do the homework outside of class, and my team of reviewers reviews that, gives you feedback. And then once you're certified, we have additional courses. Soul expression, spiritual regression is my technique, and that's taking it into the afterlife. It's beyond past lives. And then galactic lives goes even further than between lives. So We're working at the soul level of the mind as we're getting into those advanced courses, and I can take you start to finish with that entire program. And you're immersed in this bubble, and as you are, a lot shifts during this time. So it's not something that you can mentally think your way through. It's like you energetically move through it as you're just feeling those patterns lifting as we're talking, as my instructors and I are lecturing, and as you're watching the demo, and as you are doing practice sessions, right? And it's interactive, so there's an opportunity for you to ask questions during the class. It's not one of those classes that's pre-recorded. I'm there with you. And then following the course, during certification, you have a support group that you're part of. And then once you're certified, then you move over to the group with all of my other students that are already certified as well. So you have a network of people. And I'm not doing, like I teach weight release and smoking cessation and fears and phobias. I'm not doing some of the clinical sessions now. But I have a whole network that I can reach out to and say, look, is there anyone in this area doing in-person sessions? Is there anyone who's doing these type of sessions who can work online with someone in this time zone? So there's flexibility in that. And that just happened yesterday. I had to reach out and find someone for someone. So this is the course. This is the program. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you want to sign up, you can sign up online. There's a couple of different packages, bundles that you can do that. If you want to take the 2-day and just try it at first, if you know that you want to take the whole thing, you can sign up for the whole thing up front, because I do have more openings in the intro courses than I do in the 5-day. So it's going to be on a first come, first served basis. But if this is something that you want to do, you have the option to go ahead and sign up and save a little bit more up front. And if it's something that you just want to take step by step, take it one course at a time, you can do it that way as well. But I would encourage you that if you do want certification, commit to it and allow it to fall into place. Okay? If fear is keeping you from signing up, allow the course to move you through your fears. And you could have dual certification very quickly. This takes a couple of months. We have the course. You have four months from the last day of class to get your paperwork in, and then we get that back and give you your review. So it happens pretty quickly. And you can be up and certified. And then you can start to hone your skills. You got some tools, then you hone your skills and work with clients. So if this is something that interests you, our next course is the 2-day is September 12th and 13th. The other 2-day is October 13 and 14. And then Hypno Skill Sets is October 14th through 18. And then Hypno Regression is November 11 through 15. So each one builds on the next. You have 2 options for the 2-day. And then you move into level 1 and level 2. But you have to do level 1 before you can do the past life hypno regression. All right. So you can find out more at Blankinship.com. And, I know each of you has a story that, has led you here, just as I have my story that led me here. And your clients are going to trust you because they're going to know that you've been through your own struggles, you've been through your own challenges, and you've worked through them, and they're going to trust you to help them with theirs. So if this interests you, check it out. And you've been listening to Bryn Blankinship, the Afterlife Teacher, Soul Lessons Bringing You Full Circle. You can follow me online at Bryn Blankinship Author on Facebook, Instagram, and check out my YouTube channel too. Thank you so much. You've been listening to Afterlife Teacher, Soul Lessons bringing you full circle with Bryn Blankinship. Tune into Transformation Talk Radio for more discussions of the soul's journey across different lifetimes and soul lessons gained, helping you to consider the deeper reason you are here. Bryn shares her wisdom spanning 20 years of guiding spiritual regression clients into the afterlife and connecting them with their spiritual team and soul's purpose to bring them full circle, helping you gain insight into your own soul's purpose while supporting others in fulfilling theirs. Living in partnership with your soul, with less worry and greater trust, you can be in divine flow and thrive. For more information on becoming a certified hypnotherapist and regressionist and assisting with the global transformation taking place, visit BrynBlankinship.com.